Installing the idle-free Series 5000 APU from Phillips and Temro Industries. This video is not a substitute to the installation manual. The installation manual must always be followed. Most of the content in this video is on a 2021 Volvo. You will see some content from other installations to show various locations the condenser can be located. Let's begin with the installation of the condenser on the back of the truck's sleeper. To start the condenser installation, we have to remove the back wall from the interior of the sleeper. Safety belts, speakers, lights, and the cover from the bunk controls must be removed. Once all components have been removed, we can pull the fabric, exposing the internal structure of the wall. It is now possible to find areas where the reinforcing structure of the back wall is spot welded to the outer skin. This weld line can also be seen on the exterior of the truck as shown here. We will be installing 8 nutserts into the back wall from the exterior. At least 4 of the nutserts must be installed in areas where 2 pieces of metal are welded together. This provides extra strength to support the weight of the condenser unit. As you determine where the holes will be located, please know that all holes must be on the same plane. Once the ideal location has been determined, secure a template to the wall and mark all 8 holes. Next, use a small bit to drill the pilot holes. After that, use a 17/32 drill bit to finish drilling the holes. Now that the holes are drilled, use a pneumatic rib nut tool and approximately 55 pounds per square inch of air pressure to insert each rib nut into the holes. Do not over-tighten. Adjust air pressure as needed. Caution, too high of air pressure could cause damage to the structure. Identify the top and bottom of the condenser mounting plate. Next, insert 8 5/16 inch bolts through the condenser mounting plate in each of the 8 holes being used. Then place a 1-inch nylon spacer over each bolt. Finally, place a retaining washer on each bolt to hold the spacers in place. With all 8 bolts in the condenser mounting plate, mount the plate to the cab with the nylon spacers between the cab and the mounting plate. Tighten bolts into the rib nuts by hand. Once tightened by hand, use a torque wrench to tighten to 11 foot-pounds. Now you are ready to mount the condenser unit. Remove the cover from the condensing unit and hang it on the 4 studs on the condenser mounting plate. Hand tighten the flange nuts and then torque to 11 foot-pounds. Now that we have the condenser installed, let's look at how to mount the evaporator. Evaporator installation begins with securing the template to the location where the evaporator will hang. On the template, you will see marked the 4 locations where nutserts will be installed to secure the evaporator to the back wall. These 4 locations must have structure to mount the nutserts into. If no structure exists, secure the supplied metal strips from the kit to the wall, providing material for the nutserts. After adding the metal strips, rehang the template and drill 4 holes for the nutserts using the proper size bit per the installation manual. Use the pneumatic tool once again to install 4 nutserts into the holes and then install a threaded stud into each nutsert. These studs will protrude through the back wall fabric and the evaporator will hang on them. With the studs installed, temporarily reinstall the back wall fabric. Press on the fabric near each stud, pushing it through the fabric. A razor knife may be necessary to score the fabric over each stud before pushing it through. With the studs protruding through the fabric, hang the template on the studs. Mark the oval area on the bottom right of the template. This area will be cut out of the back wall. This is where the wiring harnesses and refrigeration lines will enter the evaporator from behind the wall. Before we go too far, let's install the floor collar under the bunk. This will be below where the refrigeration lines exit the back wall from the evaporator. Before drilling, look at the area under the sleeper to ensure there are no obstructions or exhaust components close by. Drill a 2.5-inch hole and install the floor collar. Per the installation manual, route the refrigeration lines and wiring harnesses behind the wall and down through the floor collar. With all harnesses and lines in place, you can install the back wall and hang the evaporator. Per the manual, connect the refrigeration lines, install the controller, and terminate the harnesses. Next, install the cover on the evaporator, and finally reinstall speakers, seat belts, and OEM controls cover. The evaporator installation is now complete. With the evaporator installed, let's now move on to the battery box. On this truck, we will look at the installation of a side mount battery box. Idle-free Systems also offers a between-the-rail battery box. Both battery boxes are very heavy and require a lifting mechanism to get them in place. A 600-pound lifting table works well for the side mount battery box. An overhead crane or forklift works best for the between-rail box. Caution: both boxes are very heavy and safety statements in the manual must be adhered to. To mount the side rail battery box, mount the provided angle irons to the back of the battery box, install the hardware, and torque to 212 foot-pounds. With the angle iron secured to the box, roll it into place against the truck frame, making sure the top of the box is flush with the top of the truck frame. Mark the holes, drill them, install hardware, and torque to 212 foot-pounds. Now let's look at the installation of the start-stop system. Start by opening the dash and finding a location large enough to mount the base unit. Other parts of the dash may have to be opened so that harnesses can be installed. With the base unit in place under the dash, open the hood and find a flat vertical location to mount the hood switch. Make sure there is a hollow space behind it so you don't run the screws through the exterior of the hood. Once mounted, route the harness up to and through the firewall, through the dash, and plug it into the base unit. The next step is to tie into the ignition switch. Every brand of truck has a unique switch and the instructions are unique to each as well. Here we are installing the circuit on a Volvo. Remove the ignition switch, pull the switch apart, follow the instruction manual to drill out the plastic. Press the circuit board onto the switch, put switch back together, and reinstall. Route harness to base unit and plug it in. Next, make the connection to the truck's diagnostic port. Run the supplied harness from the base unit behind the dash to the location of the diagnostic port. Remove the diagnostic connector from the dash. Unplug the port from the OEM cable and plug in the provided adapter cable. Different makes of trucks have varying diagnostic ports and connections. See the provided directions for each kit. We still have a couple of steps left to finish installation. To start with, route the battery cables from the truck batteries back to the APU batteries and terminate them according to the installation manual. Finally, route the refrigeration lines and wiring harness up the back wall to the condensing unit and terminate according to the installation manual. You have successfully completed the installation of an idle-free Series 5000 APU. Please direct all questions to techsupport@idlefreesystems.com.